Hi there, I have this Moto X and this is Ranjit and we'll be doing the camera review in this video. This Moto X has that 10 megapixel rear facing camera with the clear pixel technology. The thing is that it's supposed to do great in low lighting also. And the front facing camera is also 2 megapixel and both these cameras, the rear facing as well as the front facing camera, can record video in full HD, that's 1080p, and you can unlock the device and open the camera app like this. But actually, as it's a Moto X, we have a lot of gestures and you can just do this simple gesture, just twist your hand like this and the camera directly invokes, and that way you can quickly take the snap. And this is the front facing camera, and as you can see, it's pretty clear. Let me switch back to the 10 megapixel rear facing camera. And by default, if you slide here, you'll get to all the settings. We do have the HDR mode. You can set it on auto or force it to on. We also have the flash. Again, I'm keeping the flash to auto, and by default this won't be enabled, but I would suggest that you enable this because this helps you to do the tap to focus, and I've enabled that. We also have the slow motion option if you want for videos. This is the panorama mode, location settings. You can shut off the shutter sound if you want, and this is that shake to unlock and activate the camera. So these are the settings. Again, if you notice, very basic settings. We don't have advanced settings like exposure adjustment, etc. And to take the shots, it's pretty easy. Just select an area and this green icon comes and you just tap in and it takes the picture. It's not the fastest, I would say, in taking the pictures, but it's relatively okay, I would say. And you can also just keep it like this, and now it's kind of burst shot, but it's not the fastest in the burst shot. So let me show you these pictures, and I've actually taken a lot of pictures and even videos with this. I'll show you all those pictures in full screen mode so that you can get a better idea regarding the camera performance of this Moto X. These pictures were shot with the rear facing camera of the Moto X, and I would say it does a decent job outdoors, and you can also get some interesting effects like bokeh, but you need to be careful, otherwise it can get blurred. Pictures come out to be a little bit bright, but I notice sometimes it can get overexposed. Here this one came actually pretty good. This is again a close-up. This one was taken using HDR and it came out nice, but it was a little bit overexposed. I also noticed that the contrast could have been a little bit better, and here also the colors are not that punchy. And this was taken in non-HDR mode and this came out to be okay. And these are some more shots. Overall, I would say it does a decent job, but the color saturation and contrast could have been a little bit better. Recording this video with the Moto X at the highest resolution possible, that's 1080p. We do not get any tap to focus, and the audio that you are hearing is also being recorded by the internal microphone of this Moto X. And I'm just going to walk around. This is my roof garden. And we'll just slowly pan now. And there's a little bit of sun shining in this area, and I'll just quickly move to area where there's a little bit of shadow now. This is the shadowed area. And back to the sunny area. Now I'm just going to walk back normally. So this should give you an idea about the video recording capabilities of this Moto X outdoors in natural lighting. Now these pictures were taken in semi-indoor condition, and here this is an interesting picture. The picture came out to be okay in sharpness, but the color was out of place. These are some tricky areas, and here in fact the Moto X did actually a pretty good job. There is artificial light and natural lighting in this area. Now all these pictures were taken in artificial light in my office, and if you notice, the Moto X actually does a very good job. There is almost no noise, and I kept the flash to auto and the flash was not firing. Then also the pictures came out to be really good. So the claim of Motorola of getting decent pictures even in low lighting and artificial lighting seems to work, and if it was any other Android device, it would have fired the flash. Here I forced the flash. In fact, in low lighting, I feel that this Moto X did a much better job than even the Galaxy S4 and the Xperia T2 Ultra. Those have 13 megapixel camera. I'm recording this video in completely artificial light in my office. I'm just going to move around to see how well it's autofocusing, because we don't have any tap to focus. Looks like the autofocusing is pretty good. As you can see, the objects are in focus even when I quickly just move around. Yes, there is a little bit of hunting. Let's see. Yes, it's doing a good job of autofocusing. So this should give you an idea about the video recording capabilities with this Moto X indoors in completely artificial lights. So what do I feel about the camera performance on this Moto X? As we have seen from the sample pictures and shots, I would say the camera does a decent job. Outdoors, the pictures came out to be nice, but sometimes, as I mentioned, there was a little bit of overexposing at times. But for photographs that you take indoors and in artificial light, I would say this Moto X camera does actually a much better job compared to many of the Android phones that have even a higher megapixel count on their cameras. And even if you look at the Samsung Note 3 Neo that has an 8 megapixel camera, I just did the camera review yesterday. Indoors, the pictures that I took with this Moto X came out to be a lot clearer. So in indoors, I would say it does actually a pretty decent job. But outdoors, I would say the pictures could have come out to be a little bit better. One place where I found the Moto X camera to be lacking is the actual software that is provided. You have very less features, and actually you don't get any manual mode. So if you like to manually adjust stuff, it is difficult. Also, when you use that tap to focus, it also adjusts the exposure. So you need to be careful with that, because you can overexpose or underexpose if you're doing that. So overall, I would say the camera is actually pretty decent, and in fact, the strength lies in artificial and indoor lights. It does a much better job than many of the other high-end Android phones. But again, no way this is the best Android phone camera out there. I'll also be posting the full in-depth review of this Moto X very soon, so stay tuned to my channel.